Hello, everyone. Hi, welcome tonight to another stream of this global high grade about games. Welcome, everyone. Let me know if the audio quality is great or if it needs to be fixed or anything like that. So, what are we going to do today? First, let me put down this banner. All right, so welcome today. So we're going to build some Python games today. Welcome everyone. So first of all, I don't know anything about building games in Python, but that is the coolest thing about this, right? We are going to find out how to build awesome games with Python and also how to build awesome 2D games with Python. And I'm going to teach you how to use any kind of Python principles that you don't have a lot of information of, like some data structures or things like that. And we're going to use our best friend ChatGPT to learn and find out how to do this. All right. So what if we first get started and go to ChatGPT, and also I'm going to show you some cool things like the GitHub Student Developer Pack that gives you a lot of cool things so it can help you out to how to build your awesome dream game that you ever wanted to do it. If you ever wanted to do a multiplayer or something like that, the GitHub Student Developer Pack has some of the coolest things that you can use with them. So let me know if you are already seeing my screen. And also let me test out if I can search things, because I don't know why yesterday my computer was a little bit messy. So let's search GitHub Student Developer Pack, Student Developer Pack, and let me, yes, I can make searches. So let me share my screen and I'm going to show you a little bit first of the GitHub Student Developer Pack, and I'm going to add it to the stream. So now you're seeing the GitHub Student Developer Package has a lot of benefits for you if you're a student, no matter if you're in a bootcamp or you're in high school. Well, I think it matters. No matter if you're in a bootcamp or university or things like that. Don't worry about it. You just need to worry about what you want to do. All right. So first thing, you have things like if you ever wanted to do a hackathon, an online hackathon, if you ever wanted to do a hackathon in the cloud, or knowing how to use GitHub Code Spaces, how to make your first application in the web, or if you wanted to learn data science or machine learning, or if you're in your latest on your senior year of your career or anything like that, GitHub has you covered in a lot of ways. So if you want to have a multiplayer game, you can use Namecheap. If you want to build this multiplayer game and do some cool processes and things, random things in backend and a lot of things, you can use a lot of clouds that the GitHub Student Developer Pack gives to you. Some as like DigitalOcean. You have also Azure. You have Heroku for backend. Netwise. Relic, you have a lot of things that you can use. So also you have a lot of things like icons, assets. You have access to some kind of video tutorials like educative. If you want to do web your web page, but you don't know how to build web, you can use Bootstrap Studio. It's just drag and drop. Use it as you want. If you're going to use some cool analytics in your game, so you can show statistics about how the game went, how much damage you made on your game or on your match, you can learn how to use those things with DataCamp. Use MongoDB for putting your database of your multiplayer game into MongoDB, and use also MongoDB Outsource. Like it's basically the cloud of MongoDB, and you can use it in a lot of cool ways. All right. So now that we have talked about the GitHub Student Developer Pack, what if we go into the into learning how to do this, right? So first thing to do is to search Python to the games, and don't judge me. I'm using Yahoo searcher, so have not configured out this, right? So I'll I read somewhere that you can use a lot of cool Python libraries to make games, but to be honest, I don't know which one is the best one. So let me search again Python to the games, and I think in real Python was what has a lot of libraries. Games, search games. So with Python, top Python game engines, yeah. I think the one actually is, it is not Pygame. Oh my god, I cannot find out which one is. Rempy? No, this one is. What if we just use Pygame? So let's try to read a little bit of it. When people think of Python game engines, the first thought of many have is Pygame. In fact, there's already great Premiere on Pygame available to upgrade Python. Written as replacement for the called PySSD library, Pygame wraps and extends the SLD library, which Oh, okay, so sounds good. All right, this sounds really cool. So, SLD provides cross-platform access to your system underlying multimedia hardware components such as sound, video, mouse, keyboard, and joystick. Well, this is cool. And my slide just ended sharing. I don't know what is going on with the Stranger today. So let me just also quit the music. I don't know what is still sounding. But yeah, so Pygame. Let's try to use Pygame, and because I don't know anything about Pygame, let's try to ask ChatGPT how to do this. All right. So let's try to ask show me an example or explain to me what is Pygame. And also let me just make a little bit of zoom to this so you can see a little bit more. So what does it say? Pygame is a cross-platform set of Python modules designed for writing video games. It provides a framework for game development by offering tools and functionalities that make it easier to create games and multimedia applications. Pygame is built on top of the simple directed media layer, a lower multimedia library, which allows to Pygame offers various models, features, 2D creation, graphics, audio, input, collision detection, event handling, timing, and frame rate control. All right, sounds cool. So Pygame is popular among beginners and experienced developers alike due to its simplicity, versatility, and active community. It is well suited for rapid prototyping and the development of a small, medium-sized game, but may not be the best choice for a large, complex process or games that require advanced 3D graphics. Okay, so because today we're just going to learn how to use Python for creating 2D games, let's try to ask ChatGPT how to do this. All right, so how can I learn how to create a simple 2D game in Pygame? Learning to create a simple 2D game in Python game involves understanding the basics of Python programming, getting familiar with Pygame library, and following tutorials, resources, guides. Here are some steps to help you start. Learn Python basics. Okay, so I hope we have that point covered. If not, don't worry about it. We're going to explain everything today. So style Pygame to style yeah. So another cool thing of the GitHub Studio Developer Pack is that it gives you access to GitHub code spaces. So if you don't have like the biggest computer in the world, the powerful computer in all the universe, you can use GitHub Code Spaces. GitHub Code Spaces got you covered. If you have a toaster, don't worry about it. GitHub Code Spaces runs everything in the cloud, so you don't need to worry about using your RAM, using your processor, or anything like that. So yeah, that's a cool thing. So we're going to use GitHub Code Spaces to do that. So familiarize yourself with Pygame concepts. Okay, right. So documentation is always great. So follow the tutorials. All right. Making games in Python, Pygame with by Zero, after a book that covers basics. Okay. Pygame Zero, a beginner-friendly wrapper for Pygame that simplifies the game development process. The official documentation includes several tutorials to help you. Okay, so it sounds good. Right, so a Pygame series for creating games without boilerplate. It is intended to use education, so that teachers can teach basic programming without needing to explain Pygame API or write a develop. Okay, so we have some courses. Let's try to do this course. Yeah, actually, I have ChatGPT Plus. To be honest, it is a great savior for the day-by-day work. And if you're using some, like, I don't know, for example, I use it a lot with a lot of current libraries or frameworks that I use in the work. So if I'm working with the latest version of the framework and anything like that, it helps me a lot because the documentation of the 3.5 version is a little bit old. So all the responses that ChatGPT gives you are not on the latest version or anything like that. So yeah, I totally recommend a lot to use the for that old version. So yeah, let's continue with this. So creating a video, first created an empty file called intro.py. Okay, so I think before doing continuing with this, we need to start our project in GitHub. So let's go to GitHub, and you can follow me out if you want. This is my GitHub profile. So let's go to new repository, create a repository name, and this time it's going to be Go Hack Week Python. And I'm going to be the owner, the description, learning with hackers, how to use Python for creating 2D games. It's going to be public. We're going to add a README and get it started. A new GitHub code space. It's really easy. You just need to just basically do 2 clicks. You go to code. After you go to code, you just need to click on create a code space on main. And there we go. The code space is going to be get it started. It's going to set up everything you need for your code space. And as you can look, it is basically a Visual Studio Code IDE, but on your browser. So like I said, it uses the RAM and the processment of the cloud. So yeah, it is a great savior if you don't have a potent computer, or if you're lacking, or if you're doing some other things on your computer, running some process or things like that, right? So the first thing, and also a great thing about this, is that Code Spaces comes around with a lot of things in pre-installed, like the Python, Node, and everything you can imagine. And also it has the latest version of pip, which is our package manager in Python. So as you can see, ChatGPT just told us to install the Pygame library. So I'm just going to copy and paste this. So we're going to do a pip install Pygame. And also, I think I'm forgetting to make zoom into this. So just let me see how you can do a zoom here. All right, I think this is enough, right? Yeah, I think this is readable. Just let me check out again on the stream. And yeah, I think it's readable. Let me know if this is a good size of you, if you want to a little bit bigger so it can be a little bit more readable. And let's just start a new alt file called main.py, and let's continue reading this documentation. So, introduction to Pygame 0, creating a window. First, we create an empty file called intro.py, verify that it runs, and creates a blank window by running pg run intro.py. Everything in Pygame 0 is optional. A blank file is about Pygame. Okay, all right. So, I think for this we should. All right. Okay. BC run. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to use instead this page. So Pygame front page. Welcome to Pygame. Once you get Pygame installed, Pygame installed, Pygame, the next question is going to Pygame, like some other libraries, gives you full control of program execution. That freedom means it's easy to mess up with your initial steps. Here's a good example of basic setup. Opens the window, updates the screen, and handles events. So example 5 showing a Pygame game loop. Import Pygame, Pygame setup, Pygame.init, all right. Screen, okay, so we're going to have a screen. Running is equal to true while running, okay. So for event, Pygame.event, if event type is equal to Pygame screen, running is equal to false. Okay, right. So Pygame.create event means that the user click X to close your window. Okay. Fill the screen with a color to wipe away anything from the last frame. Screen fill purple, render your game here, and flip is going to be the display to put your work on screen. And clock, okay. All right. This sounds good. So let's just copy and paste this into our new file. Let me quit this out and also put this here. So we have already Pygame installed. Right. So for doing this, we also need to initialize our new environment, well, our new virtual environment, so we can basically it's a good practice to always initialize a new virtual environment so you have all your packages and all that stuff, and it doesn't mess around with all the packages that everyone has in their computers. All right, so let's just try to create a new virtual environment. So I think the library that I needed to install was called BMB. Yeah. So okay. So the one I needed to install was, it's going to be Python make new BMB. It's going to be MB. Then I need to install it down, I think. Let me ask ChatGPT how to do this. To be honest, I forget how to do this. So let's just try to ask ChatGPT how to create. How do you create BMB in Python? Right. So copy and paste this and this around this like this. And to create a builder environment, I think I did this into the code space. All right, big rank. Okay. All right, so we have already done the virtual environment. So let's just try to do source I am being activate. Hey, we are in our build environment right now. So if you have, I'm just joining. What is the project? So welcome, Tom. We have not started yet our project. We're just going to build. Well, we're learning the basics of Pygame. So if you're joining on the best situation at the best time. So we're just learning how to use Pygame. Let me share with you the documentation of Pygame here. So we're learning what Pygame is, how does it works, and basically what can we do with it. So yeah, let's continue with this. So here's a slightly more fleshed out example which shows you how to move something, a circle in this case, around the screen. All right, so first we import this, then we initialize our Pygame. We check the event. We draw a circle on the screen. All right, so keys. Okay, so I think this is our keyword. Yeah, it is. So if keys, Pygame, WSAD, all right. All right. So let's just copy and paste this into our project and render your game here. All right. So screen fill purple. Let's repeat it. And all right, so we have Pygame that draws circle on the screen red, player position, and player position is equal to nothing. Player position should be, where's player position? Player pause, okay, here it is. So player position is going to be equal to this. All right, so player position is going to be equal to this, and also we have our clock running, and we're going to have something called DT that I don't know what it's used for. So is DT is equal to 0, so player position is equal to Pygame, that vector to screen that get width. Okay, so we're basically just calculate player position is the X and Y position of our player. You can imagine like a Cartesian plane, like the ones you use in the school. So basically it is a vector, so we're just calculating which is going to be like the center of it, of our screen, and we're going to get that player position to be the center of our screen, no matter well, it depends a lot on the screen that we set up, like the resolution of our screen, right? So that is player position, so we use player position here, and we initialize a circle in our screen object, which is going to be our screen, or like our window. The color of the circle is going to be red, and we're going to initialize it at the player position, which is going to be in the center of our screen, and we're going to I think this argument is just like the width of our circle, but we can just yeah, it's already ported, so I don't know if we can see here. Let me just try to run this, because I'm not sure if it is going to work, because GitHub Codespaces can do a lot of things, but creating a window is not one of them, I think. I have to be wrong, so let's try to run this. Python and main.py. No model made Pygame. Git install Pygame. Alright, so and yeah, that's what I thought. Hopefully, I cannot find card 0. Yeah, I think our card is good. The cool thing about this is that what is happening here? Okay, so we can just, for ignoring this, like, are you seeing all these things? You can ignore them. Just go to your current Explorer, create a new file called git ignore. That git ignore, and let's just ignore our my.env folder. So with this, now everything is going. So we can just create a new commit called initialization of the project. We're going to make we're going to stage our changes, committed, and push them to main. So the cool thing about this is that we have already put this into our GitHub project. So if I refresh this, our new files are going to be seen, right? So, and because I cannot use GitHub code spaces sadly for this task, I'm just going to use my Visual Studio Editor. So let's just try to open Visual Studio Code, and let me share my screen so you can see it well. Yeah, you're right. The T is used for the time step. The T is equal to 0, and you said it was used in the time step. All right, yeah. It's also for yeah. DT is delta time in seconds is the last frame used for frame rate independent physics. Okay, that is real cool. Like creating games has a lot of like. Have you ever seen these cool awesome tricks that the old developers used to make? Used to use for all the cool games that everyone made. Like, have you ever seen like how Doom was made and how did they manage to have a lot of process and things like that in so less memory and having the less resources that they had in that time? Like, that is well minding for me. So I don't want to distract me a lot, so I'm just going to go into here and let me right, so I'm going to go here, share my screen, and let me share my full screen so we can start this. So I'm going to share with you this, and let me know if you are already seeing it. Yeah. All right, so all right, and let me go again to try to share my screen because I don't know what is going on with this. And share screen, no, Visual Studio Code, go here again, and yeah, I think now everything should be ready to go. Let me just close these messages, and let me clone my GitHub repository, clone from GitHub, and let's just try to search the global hack week Python. All right, so I'm going to put this in my desktop. Yeah, open please. And let me hide this out. All right, so we have everything that we need. And you know what I forgot to add? The requirements.txt file, so I could install everything that I need. So I'm going to need to do that again. So let me open my terminal again and just make a Python make bnb and add the amp here, virtual environment amp. Right, so now it's on. All right, so what's going on? I don't know what is going on. All right, so I already have my environment, so let me also zoom this out. Yeah. Awesome. So let me know if this is readable, or if you need a bigger font for this or anything like that. And awesome. So let's continue with this. Let's go to source. ND being activated, and let's do this again. Oh, that's right. I forget how to access to my virtual environment. Let me ask ChatGPT just a little bit real quick how can we access to the virtual environment in Windows. Oh, all right. So we can just go to MB. We can just do something like MB scripts and activate. Pleasure, what's your So cd MB. All right, now we are on the virtual environment. Yeah, so quickly, just pip install Pygame, and so I think everything now is on. So we can just continue with this. Let's try to wait until Pygame is downloaded on my computer. So yeah, my computer is a little bit slow. That is why I love to use GitHub Codespaces. Chicken Link, hey, thank you for checking in. Preparing metadata, set up the Py, and yes, a reminder for everyone that is coming on to the stream. We're learning how to use Python to create 2D games. We have not started yet. We're just looking up at the I don't know what arrow means. I'm going to check it out later. So yeah, we're just learning the basics of Pygame, this library for creating 2D games. Until now, we have made the Pygame setup. We have understood what the some variables are used for example, play position, DT, things like that. For example, DT is used for calculating frame rates. Player position is a variable that basically calculates the center of the screen, and yeah, it stores it in the variable play position. This block of code is just used for running and keeping running for each frame that we're running. Checking out if something has happened, and basically is like our main thing that we are going to use for all our game. All right, is basically the block of code that is going to be running each frame. All right, so after this, we're just going to fill the screen without color. After that, we're going to render our game, and the first thing that we render is a circle. We create a circle in our variable screen. That screen is going to be our display. We're going to initialize a new window that is going to be 1280 by 720. Also, we're going to check if any of the main keys have been pressed. So if it has been pressed, we're just going to move our position from X to the right, and also we're going to check if it has been pressed. I'm sorry, we're going to check out which key has been pressed, and if any of those keys have been pressed, we're just going to move it to the right, the left, the north, the south, right? And Flip is going to be the one who's going to keep this displaying our work in the screen, and the clock is a function that limits our FPS to 60 frames per second. All right, and Pygame, the quit is going to be only pressed when when we break or we do something like that. So for now, let me check out what this error means. So well, this is big. No set of files is running using Windows configuration. And this is the problem about using a lot of things and not using. So let me see if it was installed. Python .py. Python software foundation. All right, yeah. Succeeded at so Python main.py. I cannot install Pygame. Install Pygame, and let me just read again this error because I don't know what is going on here. So traceback a file, to open, get records method, record selector, headers, in request. Warning now setup file is running build config, using Windows configuration. So let's try to search what ChatGPT says about this, so we don't have to spend 10 hours in this. All right, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to fix that ASAP. So let me check again my schedule. Hard week, games, and let me search for the link. And blah blah blah, Python, create 2D games with Python. So redirection, create 2D games with Python. I don't know what is going on. So let me go to blowhackweek.mlh.io. Challenge schedule. Yeah, you're right. The link that I post didn't work. So yeah, I think right now everything should be ready to go. And yeah, so the link now works. And I just edited it on the Discord channel. So everything should be ready to go. So let me just continue searching why this is not working. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT what is working. So I'm trying to install Pygame in Windows, and this error showed up. No. Generating. And blah blah blah, and it was this error. Yeah. So let me clear this out. Since the Pygame library cannot be installed due to an issue with internet connection or DOM allocation, here's an you can reach blah blah. And what if I go to say just deactivate? Right. And what if I try to use pip install Pygame? It works. I don't know. Oh my god, it worked. It worked. Well, I don't know why the virtual environment was a problem there, but we're going to continue and say that did not happen. All right. So Python main.py, and let's try to see if it works. Okay, so yeah, we have a window and we have our cool circle down here. And yeah, so we saw the circle. Let's try to say it again. And yeah, yay, we have a cool circle right here. Oh, you're not seeing the screen, right? Yeah, my bad. Share screen, full screen. And now you should be able to see everything, right? So yeah, we have a circle, we have our window. So for now, after 45 minutes, we have a circle and a window. All right. So let's try to continue with this. Let me just stop sharing my screen and share again my Visual Studio Code. And oh my God, yeah, I forget. I think I forget to add it. Did I add it to the screen? Yeah, I forget to add it. So yeah, right now you're seeing it, and I think for now everything should be, yeah, you can see it. Right, so this is the circuit that we made, and this is our window. Like, I don't know, I'm curious if I change the color of this to something like blue, and this instead of being purple, be something like white. Will it change? Oh my God, it does change. So if the key is Python, that key W is going to change, or alright, yeah. So for now, I think it doesn't do a lot. So let me stop sharing my screen and share it again with my Visual Studio window. Add it to the stream. And okay, now we have our circle. So what's next, right? So let me share our documentation quickly. And so yeah, right now we are in our documentation. We have already made a circle. So for more in-depth reference, check out the tutorial section below and check out our video tutorial. I'm a fan of this one, of the reference API documentation by model. So introduction to Pygame and introduction to basics of Pygame. This is rated for users of Python and appear in volume 2 by the Pygame. All right. So Pygame introduction. This article is an introduction of the Pygame library for Python programmers. The original version appeared in the Python. All right. History, ties, blah 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 blah. I create a bouncing ball animation with 7 lines of code. Let's take a look at the friendlier version of that same thing. This should be simple enough to follow along, and a complete breakdown follows. Alright, so very first init this, we calculate the size, we create a split, we have a split, flag, This is their RGB color, screen, we create a ball with a GIF, alright, so ball rec, move speed, if ball rec that left, alright. This is simple as you can get from browser animation. Feel free to set importing initializing by nothing noteworthy. And just for being curious, is it? No, it is not. As always, StreamYard trolls me with the screen share. So let's try to continue. So we're just seeing again everything about the documentation. We're just reading the introduction. So basically, too long to read is, okay, this guy created a ball in 7 lines of code, and this is a breakdown of the kind of code that he wrote. So we have our RGB code, we have the speed, we have the size of our window, we first initialize our game, we declare our screensaver variable, we have our ball, which is going to be this ball, which is a GIF. I don't know what getReg means, so we're going to find out, I think. So what proof for event? This is just if the window was exit or not. Ball rec is equal to back rec that move, and if ball rec that left, well, I think these ones are just cases where the ball moves from left to right or something like that. So this is simple. You can unbox animation for this important. All right. So do we have anything? Python gaming. Is Python suitable for gaming or cities? It depends on the game. All right. Python is actually quite capable of running games. It will likely even surprise you how much possible is under 30 milliseconds. Still, it's not hard to reach more than seven once your game begins. So to get more complex, any game running in real time via a computer over the past several years, blah, blah. Yeah, the game engine, engine, in portion greater in C. Nowadays, C has moved to game engine, games like Quake 3 or the real, oh, Alex, developer. Hey, this is a cool history class to be honest. Okay, nearly 1001 developer, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of history. So read cursor display as well. Hey, this was not a tutorial. This was just Pygame. Yeah, basically it was a Pygame introduction. How do I map an image? Tutorial line by line. The Pygame examples of a simple program with direct to first. This was inspired by a new Flash banner. Okay, so what is this? Gym tutorial. LOL. Well, I don't know how good is this to show, so I'm going to try to skip it for today. Let's just try to go another example how to create games with Pygame. Well, I think this looks real cool. How to use Pygame for game development. Here with Python, how to work with Pygame. Yeah, we have already done that. Ooh, we can show our mouse. Shows Pygame with inits as the screen dimensions. Loads an image with image.load. Make sure that you have a background page image and the same folder as the background picture. This main game loop will be inserted after while true statement. Clock tick, frame rate, the screen, yeah. Scroll background in Pygame. Oh, this is cool. Oh, I think he's going to make. I think the article is going to make ship ship game, something like that. High far forward not found. Yeah, Python for win. So yeah, let's just try to continue with this and implement a background Pygame. We have already implemented our background screen background. I think we can just search for. Let's try to do this. Let's try to create our Space Invaders or Space Flyer game. So let's just try to Google pixel space background. And for this purpose, we're going to use this one. Well, I think we can find it. Yeah, I think this one looks real cool. Oh my god, this is so pretty. So let's try to. This is cool. This is really cool. So save image as, and let me save it on my desktop and go ahead with Python. And I think we're also going to need a type ship pixel size ship. Spaceship. I need a side spaceship. This one works. So is it free? I think it is. So we now, No, it is not free. Happening more examples like this. You know what we can do? We can just do a screenshot of this. Awesome. You can do a screenshot and then go to remove background. But don't do this at home, but I'm going to just use an image that I found on the internet and remove its background and say that it's mine. I'll be able. And go to Global Hack Week Python and just put it down here. All right, I think for now we're good. Right, so we have already found our ships. So, okay, we have 3 minutes left. So our next session is going to be on, let me search. Our next session is going to be, David, I think it's Saturday. Yes. Our next session is going to be a 12 hours session. And this one, it's, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm lying. This is actually a 2-hour session. Yay. All right. So yeah, we have still 1 more hour to play. I thought I finished out. Yeah, my bad. So we can continue. Let's just try to give it a break. What if we do that? What if we continue by having a break of 3 minutes and we go by? All right. So I'll be back in 3 minutes. All right. So we're back. Thanks again for joining today to this Global Highway Games stream. So we're going to continue. So we left in searching our images for our spaceships, and also searching for a background. And so we're going to continue to search for another spaceship. I think this looks real good for me, to be honest. Let me search again for an image of spaceships like this. And Pinterest. Okay, it's Pinterest. Side on a spaceship. Alright. Side on a spaceship. I think it was this one. No. Till spaceship. And okay, this one looks so cool. So we can use it like our main, like one of our enemies spaceship, and even this one can be a boss. So just let me download it, put it back here, and this is going to be our main spaceship player. One is going to be an enemy, and this one can also be a boss or something like that. Where you at? Yeah. So just let me copy and paste this out, download this, and put it here and say something like boss. Right, so we also need resources for a laser beam. Laser beam pixel art. And I don't know, this one looks cool. So we're going to use this laser beam and put it like a laser or a bullet. And yeah, I think for now everything should be ready to go. And let me know if okay, yeah, so let me know if there is any question or things about what are we doing, what are we building today. So yeah, let's continue with this. Let me share the screen of my project right now, of my Visual Studio Code, and continue with that. So what is Visual Studio Code not showing up? Yeah. But what is going on? Why Visual Studio doesn't want to search up? Yeah, there you are. And add it to the stream. And now we should be ready to go. So let's just try to learn how to put a new player here. So one of the lines that the activity state tutorial gave to us was how to put an image on our background. I just type up into the chat the documentation that we're, or well, like the tutorial we're following way up. So have a background, Pygame, display, subcaption. All right. So I think for this one, everything of this looks cool. So have our Pygame. Background is going to be equal to Pygame image. All right. All right. So we're going to draw a circle. We're going to load OZPath, and also we need to import OS. Import OS. We're going to use ozpath the join. And we're going to put, let me change the name of this to background. Background web, and put it webp principal, and let's try to see what does this do. Right, so our background is not imported. Python has a caption space h game, and forget to save this. Failed loading. All right, so I think we need to just let me change the background of this. So space pixel background. We search for a background that is not PNG. Zip image as. Oh my god, it's also web. It's web. Download wallpaper. All right, so this one is a PNG. So let me just put this one here and the background, the PNG, and put this as a PNG. And let's see what. Forget to save it. And I think this one is because we're filming this out with this. So let's try to save this out. And the background is not showing up. Why it's not? Because we have just declared. We just declared it, but we didn't use it. Yeah, actually this needs to be here. And we should do this here. And so this one should be here. All right. So, right. So screen blade. Oh, okay. So while running, let's check the event. We're going to screen.bit background 00 in your game. And yeah, so right now we have a background already. All right, and as you can see also, oh yeah, you're not seeing it because it's not the full screen, right? So stop screen, press it again, share screen, full screen. And yeah, right now you should be able to see everything. So yeah, we have our space pixel background, and also we have our circle. Let's try just to change that circle for another thing like our spaceship. So I think we, based on this, we should be able to say doing that. Do something like player is going to be go to pygame that image that load be os that path that join. It's going to be the same thing. This one left. And do something like player that png. Yeah, it's png. And instead of doing this, we're going to Python is equal to draw circle. Player that position and player pause. Yeah, it's the same thing. Right. So did our image render itself? No, because we didn't declare it itself. So okay, let's just try to continue reading our documentation to see what what do we need to do, and also x equals y is equal to that position. And let me change this up to here. And all right. Okay, so just let me check if you're seeing. No, you're not seeing anything. All right. So again, this is our game. We have already rendered our background. We have rendered our circle, but we have not yet rendered our player ship. So we're going to just keep reading our documentation so we can see what is next. So lots of image. Make sure that you have a background folder. This game will be considered where draws the image at the initial coordinates. Pressing S key will exit the game based on the code listen. You can also get the current mouse position. All right, so now let's run the program. Yeah, scroll. Okay, so now that you know that how to add a background, let's make it more interactive by scrolling in the same way the good old games. First, we will need to display the background. Load the app and then scroll it vertically. Yeah, like Flappy, like I don't know, Flapbird or anything like that. We can encapsulate logic for background scrolling class by setting image, file, and screen height parameters. All right, so we're going just to create this class. I think the class is going to be here at the start, or we can just even create a new file and name it like that. How's it called? Screen background. So new file, scrolling background, then .py. We're going to copy paste this and class screen background. I have Pygame, and we need to import Pygame 8, I guess. Import Pygame, and yeah, now we're ready to go. And just let's import scrolling background, and we're going to declare a new screen background here, I think. So yeah, to show the background each time we update, we can use the surface bit method to draw. All right, so we're going to add this to our class, the show method, and do it this way. Do it like this, then do this. Then we need to update the coordinates of the image so the background will shift downward the next time we update. Here we use the classic mechanic of motion and calculate the distance using speed and time of the chords. All right, so we're going to add the class again. Don't worry about it if you are not understanding anything of this. We're going to do a breakdown after initial completing our class. So now let's add a code to main loop. First, we create a new file named screen background, and then we added the code screen back. Yeah. All right. So screen width I'm back. I'm so sorry for that. My my it's if this was an RPG game or anything like that, I would be worse here. So yeah, let's just forget about it. This didn't happen. So we're going to continue building our game. So we left cleaning our class. So what we need to continue doing is just to try to keep on with that. All right. So let's just go. I cannot find this. Where are you? Laser, BNB, pixel code, no. Create Python games with Pygame. Let's just hope my computer doesn't die. Let's just hope the best. And I don't know why my computer is not searching. So all right, now it's working. So let me share my screen again. Let me share my full screen. Just continue with that. Let me share it, please. All right, so full screen here. Right, I think we were on and blah blah. Create. I think with Pygame. All right, yeah. So we are here in active state. So now we're good. So like we were just creating our Scrum background class where we first initialize it with our image that we're going to pass an image file. We're going to pass also our screen height, our image file. We're all going to put our coordinates where we're going to initialize. Also, we're going to define two functions called show and update chords. The show function is going to be just I'm just going to use the pygame.bleed the pygame bleed function. I don't know what it does, to be honest. We're going to find out. An update coordinate is going to we're going to pass the speed and the time. So we're just going to calculate the distance, and we're going to do some magic math tricks here and there to do some cool things. All right. So yeah, so now we're good to go. So we were here, and now let's add also to the main loop. First, we create a file name, and then add the code for Scrum background class as follows. Okay, so Pygame init, clock, screen width, screen height. Okay. Okay, so let's do this. Let's just create this and that. Copy paste this and screen height. So player pygame.display pygame.display. All right. So we use it here also. All right. So we do that already, so we don't need this. So have the background speed. This is the variable. Load the background image. Okay, start field. Okay, right. So start field is going to be down here. And also let me do this. This whole and it's equal to true. Stop here and background speed by position. So this is our positions, images. Let's just put something like assets here. Background, we don't need our background anymore. right now we just need our player image, and then we're going to initialize our background. All right, so background can be put here. Starfield is equal to scroll background and screen height, and screen height in this time is just going to be 790 background.png. All right, so after that, what do we do? Mods, so visible, explicit caption, yeah. Walkthrough time, time is going to be this. So we're going to do, so we don't need this anymore. Frame rate is going to be 60. Yeah. So frame rate is going to be here. So the background is called speed. The background speed is going to be 100. Okay. Where do we use background speed? Background speed. Where do we use background speed? Okay, yeah. Right. So let's just try to do this here and put it down here. Starfield update cards and show. So can we see what this Starfield is going to be a scrolling background? And why is it not showing up? I don't know. Function update chords. Why can I not see this? Scrolling background is called Starfield is going to be equal to scrolling background. I don't know why I cannot access to this. What's going on? No, my computer is dying. All right, so yeah. All right. Yeah, but why is not? Yeah, let's call my temp instead of temp. Yeah. Right, and I just need to save this out. Yeah. So now we have our Starfield update, and show screen. So let's try to run this out so to see if it works. And what can we expect about this? I don't know. To be honest, I think we can just expect our background to get moved. And if don't, don't worry about it. We're going to find out how to do that. Python and main.py. That's py. And let's try to see if everything is working well. Let's try to just wait a minute if everything is good. So also, let me see if everything's good. Yeah, I think everything's good to go. So help from programming community and model object is not callable. Model object. All right, so let me ask ChatGPT what is going on here. And let's just try to open a new ChatGPT. And do something like and search something like why can I access my class module? And I access my class module, and I don't know what's going on here. Oh yeah. Why can't I access my class model? So we're importing this, and it will be also my model here. Class file. And let's try to see what ChatGPT does. Right, that was so fast. It looks like you're trying to import a Scrum background class from the model name Scrum background, but the import is the same and is causing an error. And one resource this is not located in the same directory as your main script. Here's some pictures. Yeah, make sure that file name is scrolling background. Is it right? Yeah, right. Scrolling background. This one, yeah. Start field is going to be equal to new scrolling background. Model object is not callable. What do we pass to this? We pass just screen height and the image file. And it is background.png. So let's just try to run this out. The vector renderer. This is fun. Let's see if this is correct. Correct except for one thing. The third line you're trying to import scrolling background class from model name scrolling background, but the correct way to import a class is by using the following statement from it. Oh, all right. Oh, all right. Yeah, from scrolling background import from scrolling background import scrolling background. Yeah. So now we have now we have access to it. Yeah. Yeah, I was confused by how to use it like with Node or something like that. All right, so sorry for that. So now we have the Python main.py. Now let's try to see if this works or if it not. So it's still loading. Yay! So now we have our background repeating itself and showing up. Yeah, I think showing. Yeah, you can see it, right? So yay, we have a moving background. All right. So the screen height is not going to be 3090. I think the image is the background image is 180 if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So let's go again with our main.py and change that just to 180. Well, let's try to see how does this change to our current game. So main.py see the border right here. Oh, my mouse. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, now we have a cool image of our background moving downwards of our screen, right? So okay, cool. So now we have a moving background. So we can just continue and looking up at the tutorial and look it up. So note that the scroll speed is divided into thousands of second time, so we can have fine-tuned control over how fast the background may scroll, and then we update the coordinates and render image again after each loop. This is short demo. So add a moving sprite Pygame. So now we can add a sprite in the shape of spaceship that the user command via the mouse. So we can create a new class called HeroShip with the following code. Okay, so we're first going to create a new class called HeroShip net pi. So our HeroShip class is going to have this. So let's import Pygame again. Import Pygame. And let's try to see what this does. All right, so we have our class HeroShip, and it has 3 arguments: the screen height, the screen width, and the image file. And now what I'm thinking, we need to change our sprites because I think the game was going to be to the right, but I think now it's back to the. I mean, yeah. So I think it was going to be a side by side game where the ship is like floating or like moving to the right, but in this time it's moving to the north, and we're just trying to move our ship with our mouse. All right, so we have our init. So going again with the class of the HeroShip, we have our init where we have 3 arguments: the screen height, the screen width, and the image file. And the image file is going to be loaded by the Pygame file. So top left, all right. So we show our surface.blade is going to be surface.blade, left and top. And we're also going to have our self.left and x self shape. What is, all right, yeah. All right, x minus self shape, yeah. Okay, this sounds good. So let's try to put it here and put it down our here. So from hero ship, import a hero ship class, and we are going to use it down here. Hero is going to be equal to hero ship, and we're going to pass it tree height is going to be equal to 1000 height, width, and the image, right? So the height is this one, and this one is going to be this one, and this one is going to be our player.png. And set mouse.get position. I'm going to do this here, and let's save this and let's look at what is going on right now. So our hero is not displaying itself. All right. Let's save it and I run this. What is going on? So we declare our hero and the background is current background star filter. Oh yeah, I think what is going on. I think I know what is going on. Yep. And we should do this here. I think. Right, so we already saved this. So yeah. All right. So now we can move our ship from left to right. So yay. All right. So what else? The above code defines the top and left coordinates. All right. So now we can update our main program code by adding the following snippet just before while loop. All right. By creating more features, incrementally adding code to do things like make decisions. We can listen to mouse down click events, event type is mouse item, and then update the laser shot position. You can encapsulate the laser shot into a class that updates its y-axis coordinates and re-renders itself. The laser shoot will follow you mode. Yeah, so why don't we ask ChatGPT to do this? So I want you to create Python class that makes call laser game with Pygame that does the following. Okay, so let's just copy and paste this. Let's call new file called laser game py. To do this, import pygame class laser beam xy pygame dot surface fill Right, so in this implementation, the laser beam class method takes an subtotal surface. All right. So the update makes it moves the laser beam upwards by 10 pixels every time call the draw. All right. Surface onto the given screen, and to use this class into game loop, you can create an instance of the laser beam class and update right. Right. So we have a screen called laser beam is equal to known. So just going to declare this into our main.py, and we're going to do this before this. The beam is going to be equal to known. Yeah, so if event type is equal to event type so if event type is going to be, let's just try to import from our laser beam import laser beam. Is this correct? Yeah, it is. So we're going to do this class laser beam and a new laser beam some y. Yeah. Screen.fill if laser beam. So let's try to just put this if laser beam that update and draw. All right, let's run this out and see if we have something. Oh my God, we have lasers. Cool. Hey, this is cool. But we need to manage to like if you can see, we have like our different lasers. They are like re-rendering itself. So we need to manage to render different lasers by itself, like and also they always start like really up to us. So let's try to fix that with ChatGPT, and let's just try to ask ChatGPT to do this. So can you manage to have to re-render each laser? I want to each laser beam to last at least 5 seconds, and also to 5 seconds, yeah, and also to be generated 5 pixels up to the player position. Right, so sure, to make each laser beam last for be generated, you can modify, all right. So let's try to do this minus 25, minus 25, and this is going to be fill current created time, solve that created time is equal to current time, and if it's active, return if the laser beam is still active, and has current time also, time, and do another function here, and if the laser beam is still active, all right, and into our Pygame, laser beam is equal to the all right, so let's go here and let's just append our laser beam. All right, so we first initialize an array. So player position. So after our array is going to be, so yeah, first we initialize an array, and after initializing an array, we just need to plug in and modify this into this laser beams that append. All right, so current time is going to be equal to Pygame the time that get fixed. Okay, yeah. This looks good for me. So current time is going to be this one, and let's just try to copy and paste this. And laser beams that append laser beam is going to fill for later in laser beam in. All right. So we're going to change this to this, and clock a click. Yeah. So what we did, so we modified our class to manage that. We added a new argument called current time. Current time is going to be equal to Pygame that time that get ticks. So I think ticks is going to be this one, clock tick, which we have like arranged to be 60 frames. So we're going to pass the current time to our class, to our object, and after that we are also going to initialize a new function that is called isActive. And basically, we're going to ask if by the time we are checking up by each object, if we have an active, if we have an active laser, and it is going to return true if it is least that 5,000 milliseconds, which is basically equal to 5 seconds. And what else? So we also declared a new array, and this array is going to store all array laser beams. So if we make 1,000 clicks into our mouse, it is going to generate 1,000 laser beams, and each one of them is going to be stored into our array. And after that, we're going to check by each one of our events. So we're going to check our new event, which is called mouse button down. We're going to get the mouse position. We're going to initialize a new laser beam, and we're going to append that laser beam into the laser beams array. And yeah, so when the game is going to be running, we're going to check for each laser in laser beams. We're going to ask, okay, so if our laser beam is active, we're going to update it and draw it. Basically, we're going to make it move. Else, we're going to remove it, and basically it's going to disappear from the screen. So hopefully everything should be okay and ready to go. So, whoosh. Missing wire required position argument, you're in time. Let's see. Yeah, you're right. Laser beam. It's going to be known. Yeah, and the current time. And the current time, yeah, you're right. So yay! Yeah, now we have multiple laser beams. So cool. We managed to render the laser beams. So after doing this, what else do we need to do? So I want this to be plus like fan, like 20, just to see if the lasers appear a little bit closer to the player. No, actually they don't. So actually +1, see how this looks. And let's look at it. Well, I think with 10 pixels is enough. And blah, 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 blah. Let's try to instead of doing this, put 10, and with that, everything should be up. Yay! I think this is a good size for our lasers. Yay! Yay! So yeah, as you can see, with each laser that we create, is hard to compile itself. So cool. We have, so recapitulating what we have done until today, we have learned why Pygame is. So let's just try to break down everything that we have done. So what have we learned with this? So we have learned what Pygame is. We have learned also how to create basics, like how to create a screen, window, how to create an object of a player, and things like that with Pygame. And also we have learned how to create a player. So you can imagine for each object that you're going to upload into your new game, with Python, you're going to need to create a new class for making it a little bit readable and easier to maintain. A new class, so this class represents a new object in your game. So for example, if we're, for now that we used ships, a new ship is going to be declared by a class called, I don't know, player ship. But if we have an enemy ship, having an enemy ship class will be also a great thing to do, so we can ensure the maintenance and that each one of these classes has a unique things like they do. And like, for example, enemy ships can have functions that we're going to build on the next stream called I don't know, shoot at the player, or appear, or anything like that. Like for each 5 seconds, a new enemy appears and it tries to fire at the position of the player, or anything like that. And maybe even we can have a boss, that this boss will have some kind of weird beams and things like that are going to move in some mathematical functions, like cos and sine and things like that, But for now, I think this should be everything that we have. So we managed to shoot lasers, render them in a correct way. So each time when we have, we do a click, it doesn't re-render itself. We also learn how to move our player with our mouse position, and also we learn how to move a background. That was a real cool thing. We did mathematical magic with all this stuff of how to use math to move up into our screen, and how to re-render it again, so it looks like, I don't know, if we're traveling in the space, going up. But yeah, I think for now this should be all for this stream. Thank you for joining into the stream. Don't forget to register into your Global Hack Week activities. And yeah, I think I'll be seeing you on Saturday. So thank you so much for coming out here, and I'll see you on Saturday. See ya.